Well, we'll call the meeting to order. Tuesday, December 8th, regular meeting of Engineering Committee. Ray Johnson present, I'm present, and Dave Hunt and Steve Liebringer present, and Jim and our secretary is present. Okay. Roll call, public comment. Do we have any, Jessica, any public comment?
No, sir.
Okay. Minutes from the last meeting. I guess there's no reason to not accept them other than the fact they're incomplete. But who writes the minutes? You, Jim? Don't you write the minutes?
I revise.
Pardon?
And I revise. Well, how are they incomplete?
Well, you didn't make any mention of your meeting at the with the homeowners. That's what you talked about last month.
No, that was the prior month.
What's that?
Oh, you're right. You're right.
No, he did.
I don't know. Maybe we should.
No, but who writes the minutes? I mean, I know years ago, I think Cher used to write them, but or Teresa, but
no, I do, but on this Zoom thing, we have Jessica draft them, and I haven't been because I don't know, I don't like watching the minutes or the TV. So no, I'm at fault. So maybe one of these days I'll get it right. So what else is missing?
no, that's all. That's it.
Okay.
You know,
in 43 years I'll get it right.
yeah. Well, I mean, anything that I noticed, it's not just this. It's for the past 3 years. If there's anybody comes and says anything they don't like, it doesn't go in the meeting. I mean, it doesn't go in the minutes. But I mean, we all hear it, so I guess it's all the same.
Yeah. I'll get them right next time.
Okay, we'll give you another shot, Jim.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so we'll move on to roadway. Let's see, roadway reconstruction status report. That'd be Mr. Hunt.
Okay, so this is on the Diaz Creek and Via Vaqueros. And on that one, we are ready to submit. The district is going to set up an account with the agencies, and then our consultant can submit all the stuff electronically through them. So that's the next step. And so they're all done, ready to fill in right now.
Great. Any questions from anybody on that?
Maybe just clarification. Being a little bit familiar with the process, this just is a next step though, Dave.
Right, this is the next step. This is to submit it to the agency so they can do their official review.
So then once they take all of our documents that this consultant prepared, what are we looking at time-wise to get some approval?
Well, they're all saying that the best case scenario is 3 months, and the worst case scenario it's 6 to 7 months, all because of coronavirus and their workload and not working in the office. So that's a big range, and I cannot narrow that range down any closer than what they're telling us. They're the ones dealing with this stuff on a day-to-day basis.
So this Michelle person, who represents Ultra Systems or whatever the name of their company is, and we met with her, recall board or committee members a couple months ago. She was with us. They haven't been the most responsive. So are they completely finished now? I mean, it's now they're finished, and now it's with all of the agencies. I think there's 4 of them.
Yeah, they're ready to submit them.
And then that should be within a few weeks, probably. And
Yeah.
now we have some say about that.
Right, now that's when you guys have to set up this EPIMS account.
Yes. And
You know,
Bruce
it's
is working on
online.
that now?
You need to do that now. And if you do that now, and they will be glad to help show you how to do that.
Okay, no, we got that under control. So assuming that we get that submitted in a week or so, and I have confidence in Teresa who's doing it, that will be the case.
Yeah,
Is that what kicks off the 3 months?
three to
Or 7?
7, whatever that comes out to be, yes.
Okay, and
August 3 to 7.
so there's not gonna be, I guess where I'm going, I mean, it goes back to what Mr. Adams said earlier about the HOA. I don't wanna do that again. So, I mean, is this gonna get done? I mean, are we gonna, I promised these folks that we're in construction in spring. And this Michelle's been playing, around with this for a year. So you think it's gonna happen?
I do more now than ever before.
Okay,
So, but the dates, excuse me, the dates are unknown at this time. We may get a better idea in a couple of months how they're doing down there.
okay.
But again, we're submitting at Christmas time. Federal government typically doesn't do anything in December, to be honest with you. It goes into a pile and sits there. Come January, middle of January, they all come back and go, oh, what do we need to do now? So it'll take a few months for the feds to get around to it in the other in the state. They don't move real fast.
All
I can't
All right.
give you anything positive on that because it's out of my control.
Okay,
right.
thanks,
Who's
Dave.
the other environmental consultant on this project? The Buena Vista one.
Yeah, the Buena Vista is a different one. They're moving faster. And that's down the line, but we can talk about that now. Yeah, that's Recon, and they're doing actually a much better job. And they're trying to submit a sequin, and so that's coming up here, and they're ready to do that. And Ron is working with them to work with you guys to get all that set up. That's what that $50 check is for.
What's recon? I can't hear Jim. I don't know. Can you turn up
Yeah,
your volume,
I'm
Jim?
gonna raise the volume here.
I can't hear a word.
And Jim's really muffled.
Who's is recon doing? I thought recon was doing Buena Vista.
They are. Jim brought up Buena Vista, so that's why I was talking about it.
Okay, because we skipped one of that's down here a little ways. We still got to
Yeah,
talk about this flurry.
we can go back up to the slurry.
It doesn't matter. Well, you can do it in any order. You're doing all three. So who's the one that's doing the? Who's the lady that we met the other day? She's from what outfit? Doing Sandia Creek.
That was Michelle, and she works for Ultra Systems.
What's it called?
Ultra Systems?
I can't hear. I don't know what's happening with this audio. Something systems.
Ultra Systems.
I'll look it up.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Yeah, we can hear you just fine.
Okay. Yeah. Does recon have to go through the same hurdles that the other outfit has to go through, or they don't? Do they?
No, they do. Same thing. They'll be going through the same thing.
Okay. Well, you said they were moving faster. How are they doing?
Well, they started a lot later, and they're catching up to Ultra Systems, and they'll be in the
Ultra systems. Yeah, Ultra.
Yeah, they'll be in the same time frame as Ultra Systems, and so they're catching up to them.
Okay.
All right, want to talk about the slurry seal project?
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, I went out and I drove the site today and kind of looked at the streets and looked at the what they're doing, and yeah, the slurry seal looks good. It's a nice color. I even went on via Santa Rosa, and that's nice and dark. That's not gray.
Well,
Um,
just the front, no, the second part they did was better than the first
Yeah.
300 feet. The
Yeah,
rest
so
of it, now, yeah, it looks pretty good all the way to the end.
yeah, it still looks good. It's in the standards and all that. And I drove down all, the other streets and looked around. It was looking good. They painted all the new striping that I was driving on. I didn't drive on every one, but the painting sure stood out nice, the new painting and all that. So I know Steve will probably talk about the painting of the rest of it. So I
If
won't
you,
go.
next time you're out taking a drive, look at the cracks at Via Tornado in Santa Rosa. They should have been crack sealed. They just blurred right over them and they're a half inch wide. They didn't go away. So you might take a peek at that. They might have some of that stuff in them, but the cracks are there. I thought maybe they were gonna look at it. I looked at it myself on Sunday, but I guess
Well,
it's better. It's better than it was, but you still got half inch cracks in the road. They just slurried right over it.
well, they did do crack seal out there, right, Steve? Because that was part of
Yes.
the ones that we wanted. So they did do that, then they slurry sealed over it. But sometimes with half-inch cracks, it doesn't fill the whole thing up because sometimes those cracks go all the way down to the base. And then the crack seal and also the slurry seal goes down and just goes down into aggregate base down below and kind of disappears because it is warm.
No, it's
It is,
better. I mean, it's better.
yeah. Typically when something like half-inch, we do cut out and take out, but we added that section and said just do the crack seal on it. Typically it needs to be removed and replaced. But the rest of the streets didn't have those big of cracks in it.
Right. When are they gonna put the reflectors on?
That's at the very end, Mike.
Yeah, that's what they're
Oh, I know
doing.
that, but you said it was gonna be a week or 10 days after they got done.
Yeah, but that they have to let the slurry dry. They come back to the first coat, then they go another 7 days to 10 days in between and do the second coat. The last emails I saw they were doing that they're going to come back and do some of the rest of the striping later this week. So the RPMs are going after that when all that's done.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay, so,
it looks really good with the new striping out there in the parts that I drove by, just with the first coat.
yeah. Excellent. What about Buena Vista reconstruction project? Do you want to go back to that or did you already do that?
I kind of did that, but anyway, Recon is requesting a $50 check so they could do one submittal and then so they can also set up some they're going to do some conference videos with the agencies and stuff. And so that one's progressing along real nicely. I don't really have any more updates than that, but there's a few things that I need to get from the district to get going on that. And Jim's working on that with the staff. So it's progressing along nicely.
Okay, thanks, Dave. Any questions for Dave on any of these three topics? Okay. I guess then, Steve, are you up to the plate with traffic issues?
I'll be happy to do traffic. Just go
Okay.
bring up the PowerPoint.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Jess. So as Dave just indicated, the striping is coming to completion here, and we've chosen to restripe all the streets in the community, so everything's going to be fresh at once. What you're going to have is brand new center lines, brand new edge lines, and reflective pavement markers when the project's done. Also, what we did was we chose to use thermoplastic on all the stop legends and stop bars. That's longer lasting and it's going to save the community a lot of money over the long haul. We're rotating our CMS sign around each week to a different street to encourage drivers to exercise caution and watch their speeds. Update from the county that, as you might have seen already, they installed new signs on Rancho California Road to talk about the prohibit, the 7-ton weight prohibit, talk about the 7-ton weight limit. on Sandia Creek. So this gives the truck notice not to turn down Avenue Doro to go to Sandia Creek, only to find out Sandia Creek is restricted and they can continue on and turn around somewhere else. The new idea that we threw out there last couple of months, we tried out with temporary tape. It worked really good. So we bought permanent tape and we've got 5 of our guardrails already done. The next set of guardrails should be completed, or the rest of the guardrails should be completed within the next couple of weeks with permanent tape. We had this little traffic hazard that showed up on camera. As you can see, it's partially been left in the street, but what's worse yet is it's only 100 feet or so from the intersection. So traffic coming out of that intersection behind it can't see around this, the traffic that's approaching. So go ahead, next one. So we notified the sheriff that it's being vandalized. The windows are all smashed out. It's just being destroyed. And the CHP, we asked them to tow it. And that's my traffic report. If there are any questions I have from.
I got a question, Steve, on the backing up on to the 7-ton limit. That's just for trucks that think they want a shortcut through the district. It's not for agricultural trucks, is it?
Right.
They're working in the district?
Right. If you have a destination in the district, then that doesn't apply.
Okay.
All right. So our maintenance update. We're working hard to continue to get rid of the growth along the shoulders. We're mowing when it allows us to mow, when the weather's good for that, but we're using primarily our grader to do the grading. We had this situation over on Via Gorion and Ridgeline. We have a large amount of growth that was in the channel. It was not only blocking the drain, but it was so tall, it was blocking the view for the drivers coming out of Ridgeline. We sent our crews over there and they took those growth and made a war zone out of it and got rid of all those. The inlet sign is completely done now and has all the growth and the visibility issues been resolved. We still have some growth here on the exit side to take out of the inlet so we can get that thing ready to go. So they'll be working on that next week. In addition to tree growth that we remove, we have to send out letters to private owners. And I think we had some 13 or so letters that we recently are putting together to send out. We give them 30 days to correct. This is an example of one that is on a corner and the visibility is pretty atrocious. The other activity that we have coming up regarding growth is we have a large amount of growth that's at the inlet of both the Anza and Venus Campos. So we are going to be renting some bigger equipment to go in there and hack that stuff back some good 20, 30, 40 feet so that it doesn't grow back in any near time. We also had to deal with the high winds this last few weeks, and one of them was a fallen tree in El Calamar, as you can see, was blocking half of the lane that we had to get out of the road. We had a number of stop signs, and I had to go out and personally put up some barricades and stuff until my guys can get back to putting up the permanent signs. And so we have those out. And then we have these white delineators. These are some of the ongoing activities. We have these white delineators that tell you where the edge of the road is on these dip crossings where there's a fairly large drop off. We went through and replaced all of them on 3 of them down in the Sandia Creek, Buenos Campos, and the Anza area. Other ongoing activities are we got a call for illegal dumping that we reported. And the last one here was we found a leak spring up under our road, and we got a hold of Rancho California Water District and had them repair that. And with that, that's my report. Answer any questions that you have.
Any questions from anybody?
I do, real quick. Hey, Steve, if we own like 80 feet of right of way and some of the bushes are in our right of way, do you need to go to the residents and ask permission?
Well, it's
like that one bush was in the street right of way.
Yeah. The way we've kind of handled that is the natural growth out there, like oak trees and the sumac and stuff like that, we go ahead and just trim. But any of the stuff that has been planted by the owners, the bougainvilleas, the oleanders, the palm trees, the the hanging ones, shoot, what are those called? Pepper trees, that kind of stuff like that. We don't get involved in trimming those. We first go after the owner and say, hey, you planted in our right of way. It's your job to maintain it. This is our rules, cut it back. If they don't comply, then of course we have the opportunity to take it one step further and have it removed and then put it on their tax bill.
All right, that seems like a very political correct way to go.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's good. Thank you, Steve. You want to, that's your field crew report also.
Yes.
Mhm. Jim, are you got anything you want to talk about in your spot?
I really don't have anything on these particular items. But following up on Steve's field crew report, I have bad news in that as of this moment, we don't have a field crew. They both turned up testing positive for COVID last Friday afternoon.
Who did?
Both of them.
Who
Within
did?
6 hours of each other. So guess who gave it to who is anybody's guess.
I didn't hear about it. Who did, Jim?
Both crew, Dustin and Pedro.
Oh, the crew member?
Yes. So anyway,
I'm your crew.
yeah. So Steve and the
We're in
crew
trouble.
company, the crew company is standing by to help us out if we need it. But both are they have no symptoms, but they both tested positive from the legitimate test. So they will not be back until next Monday because of the 10-day quarantine. So we talk to them daily. So far, nobody's gotten sick, but I guess, it was our time. So
Did you guys, Jim, did you test them or does everybody test? How'd they get a test?
we sent them down to get one, and we pay for it as the employer. And we get the one over here at the mall, and we get results in like 2 to 3 hours.
Did the rest of the staff do it?
Well, Jessica, because she was in contact with them, she tested and she's negative. And Teresa and I weren't really close to them. So, and Steve, I think you decided you'd hold for the time being. Right?
Right. I'm just working from home and I went up on the hill by myself.
So they're not here. They're not allowed to come to work. And so the only issue was, they say 3 days prior to when they were diagnosed. So we're just about through that period of time. And Jessica was the one that had actually been in close contact back in the office, that side of the office. And so hopefully we're in the clear. We're getting close day by day. So anyway, I guess nobody's immune from this thing. So,
Okay.
anyway, that's my big item. Everything else, everything, is quiet with the county and with the federal and all that. So not much to report at this point.
All right, thanks, Jim. Is that all we have on the agenda? Looks like it.
I have one more item.
Okay.
Come January, we're going to start talking preliminary about what road projects to do next year as an engineering committee. So just start thinking about that. I'll come up with some recommendations, but I'll present it, but it's for the committee to decide which way they want to go, what they want to do.
Okay.
So just keep that in mind.
That sounds good. Thanks, Dave.
Okay.
And that would also include Buena Vista too, because we're coming out. Remember 6 months ago, we said, before you start getting serious about or determining how we're going to do Buena Vista, we better get the environmental going, and so we're actually coming out toward the back end of that, so that would certainly be an issue to discuss in January, along with whether you want to do a road project next year too. So it should be a little bit longer meeting in January, February, we are, so.
I can't hear a word. I don't know what's going on. Can you hear me, guys?
I don't get it. Just,
Yeah, I hear you. But he is muffled.
You're a little muffled.
Yeah, I can hear Jessica and Dave.
did you hear me, Jessica? Why don't you repeat what I said? Can you?
You want me to repeat what you just said?
Yeah,
But
this is
Buena
January,
Vista?
February is gonna be,
We're going to include Buena Vista in that come January?
Oh, okay.
yeah, we need to start talking about it.
For next year's project.
Right, right.
Yeah, well, yeah, we hope so. That would be good. All right. Okay, that's good. Well, that's great to hear. Okay, is there anything else, Dave?
No, that's it for me.
Okay, well, thank you all for coming. Let us know as soon as you have ideas on what you want to do next year, or what you think needs to be done, and so Ray and I and the rest of us can get a handle on it. And I'd like to go out and look at the areas that you propose, you know, and maybe we can, if you propose several of them, we can decide, you know, together which ones would be the best to do.
Okay, will do.
Okay. All right, well, thank you all for coming, and I guess we'll see you next week.
That's great.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Have a great evening.
Okay, thank
Bye.
you.
Bye-bye.
Jessica,
Yes.
can you check Jim's microphone to see if it, because I'm hearing the same thing that Dave's hearing. It sounds
We're
like
all hearing it. I'll have to check it and see what's going on with his mic.
yeah, it
Definitely.
sounds like a towel or something is laying over the top of it. It's like real muffled.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yep, we'll
Okay.
get that handled
All
for
right.
next.
All right.
Okay, have a great evening.
All right,
Bye.
guys.